Alright, welcome to episode 10 of Let's Play Final Fantasy I Pixel Remaster with Balmora. So I went back to the town and I got the magic that we missed. So I have Sleepara on Morgan and Nullfrost on Claire. Now we are going to head back to this cave, and allegedly there is a vampire there that destroyed that town, is ruining the earth, and wrecked their church. So we're going to go in there and we're going to take a look and see what we can find. Alright. Swing around here and we're going to come down this way. Ooh. Let's attack the poison ones. Trying to save my magic because that dungeon is kind of difficult, and I don't want to end up in a situation where I dump all my items just to get through a level or two. So we'll try to just attack our way to the place and see if that does it. We got poisoned. I should have had, thinking back on it now, I totally regret not having like a poison counter on the screen. So every time we got poisoned, it would tick up a count. Like, oh, that's the 767th time you've been poisoned in the first 5 hours of the game. Okay, so let's take a look at... The buttons are still messing me up. Let's take a look here. We want to go just right behind us here. Oh. Well, not into the stairs. Minotaurs, huh? These guys look menacing. Well, we'll split the damage on that. We'll do a fire and we'll have her attack. Let's see what happens. Oh, these guys stink. I'm all worried. What a waste of a good character model that was. Those guys stink. Alright, let's move down here. Swing swang and get over this way. I mean, these tarantulas are more difficult than those minotaurs. That's for sure. Poison. 767 times now. In the first 6 hours. I really regret that now. I'm definitely going to do something like that for, like, maybe the Final Fantasy III. Because in Final Fantasy III, there's parts that stuff like that happens. It's not poison, but it's like how many times you have to change classes, just to get through the game. Because Final Fantasy III is one of those games that I tell people don't just play blind. Not the American version of 3, because Square Enix got all cute with their numbering. Because 2 was actually 4. Like the 2 that came out on Super Nintendo was actually 4. Okay. That's where we came in. There's a door straight that way, so if I come down, take a right, and then go up. Okay. Yes, and then, 6, Final Fantasy VI was actually 3 here. But in Final Fantasy III, from the Pixel Remaster, where you do the job stats, I've talked to people before that are trying to get into Final Fantasy, and I just tell them, do not get a guide that tells you what classes to play for the bosses coming up. It seems like a spoiler, but the thing is with Final Fantasy II, and not this one, they did a really good job with this one, because you can play this one blind, and you can muddle your way through. You can beat this game without a boss guide or any of that. I would always suggest having a dungeon guide. Well, not in this version because you actually have maps. But in previous versions, You didn't have a map, so it was really hard to get around some of these dungeons. But Final Fantasy III, you have to have specific job types to beat bosses, and you don't know what job types you need till you confront the boss. So you spend time grinding and getting to the boss to find out you have the wrong job combination and then lose. Can you get out of the way? There we go. So I'm not a big fan of that, but when I play 3, I will be using a job guide. And I do have something else exciting to announce. We are going to be in maybe a month or two. It might be a little bit longer. I'm planning to do the Final Fantasy II run after this, but I have planned a Warcraft playthrough. So Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans. I want to save level 4 because it's got haste. So we'll use Fire. A playthrough of Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans. And Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3. And then doing a story breakdown of World of Warcraft. And this came about because I've been reading some of the Warcraft books. So what I'm planning on doing is making... Oh, Coral Sword. Oh, I'm poisoned too. Hold on. Use Poisona. Rinky. And then... I thought someone was hurt. No? But we did get Coral Sword. Where is it? Let's sort this. Items first. Use Coral Sword. A sword that is effective against aquatic enemies. Is it strong? Is it stronger than Worm? It's the same as Worm Killer. Is it stronger than Longsword? It's more accurate. 2%. I'd probably just keep the Longsword on. So now we've got an aquatic enemies with tent. 330 gil. So we have an aquatic enemy sword and a dragon enemy sword. Troll. Okay. I don't think this person's a threat at all. Let's just do a normal attack on him. Oh! Hit Morgan for 60 for my sass. That's fine. We'll heal him up. But going back to that, I've been reading the Warcraft books, which gives me a lot of background on the lore for Warcraft and the strategy game and World of Warcraft. And I was planning on playing Warcraft Orcs and Humans with a lore perspective on each type. So when we're like playing through Warcraft 1 Orcs and Humans, I'm going to have a lot of input because I'm almost to that point chronologically in the books. Okay. Magic. Thunder. So that's my plan after I get to that point in the books, because I've got 3 more books. But I've been getting through them pretty quick. And when I get through those books, I'm going to be making a lore-based Let's Play of Warcraft. So hopefully, you guys are interested in that. I'm not exactly a variety gamer. I play a lot of older JRPGs like Final Fantasy I. But I'm also a strategy person. I've always loved Blizzard games, even though they've had kind of a dark turn over the last few years. It's hard not to still enjoy their games and content after so many years of enjoying everything they put out. Hopefully with this new Microsoft merger, and we'll see, maybe I'll eat my words when this video is still around after it, but coming in October, they're merging with Microsoft. Well, they're merging, they got bought by Microsoft. And I know they're going to have some anonymity, but that's what they said about Bethesda, and they don't really have that much freedom. Okay, so this is kind of a maze. Oh my goodness. So we got to come up and to the right And we're gonna hit up that door right there. Okay. So up. We're gonna try to start saving some of our mana here. Because I'm worried that if we keep dumping all our mana on these fights, we're gonna get to that vampire and just get caked. Because some of these boss fights have been a lot harder than I was expecting. Cockatrice. Let's give one of these guys a thunder here. If they're still alive. No, these guys are weak. Glitz and Frankie making short work of those two. But yeah, Final Fantasy II is another example of a game that is just it's difficult in the wrong ways, right? It's not difficult because it's a challenge that you can overcome. It's difficult because you have no idea what's going on, and the game doesn't explain it. Like, for example, in Final Fantasy II, the only way you can get health, because there's not really levels, it's like you level up how good you are with a bow. Well, the only way to get health is to be hit. So you've got to be hit by enemies in order to get health. Well, you see how I play. You know, I overly grind, and I am constantly over-leveled for every fight. Well, that turns into the characters never get hit, and then they're super low HP. So when you fight a boss, you die in one hit. But it is a cool concept. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know. You know, maybe like an Elder Scrolls game in the way that the abilities work, the way the... So if that's Earth, what would I use against Earth? I'd use Blizzard, right? Let's cast Blizzard. 12 damage, good job, Claire. Why is this Earth Elemental always hitting Morgan? Every time. See you later. Golden Needle. I don't remember what that does. Golden Needle cures stone. Oh. Gonna cure up Morgan here. Get him back to a better place in his life. There you go. Okay. Let's take a look. So we came in there. So we need to go to the middle of that. So let's cut up and down. Yeah, because there's, you know, the interesting thing out of all the Final Fantasies that we'll be playing, because I'm planning on doing all 6 of the Pixel Remastered on a Let's Play. And I'd like to, you know, kind of intermix other games in there. Like, I'm planning to do, like, the Warcraft series, but that's going to be slow. You know, there's like 30 or 40 Warcraft books, and even though they're not the best written, I have been enjoying them. It's interesting, you know. A lot of the lore that they originally wrote for Warcraft had a lot of depth to it. But there's a few other games I wanted to put in the mix. Some older stuff that I'm really good at and I've played multiple times. Like, I'm probably going to do a playthrough of Freelancer, which was a space kind of simulator RPG, you know, action game that Microsoft released in the early 2000s. So I'll probably be doing that one mixed in with the Final Fantasy playthroughs. But I have been really enjoying this playthrough of Final Fantasy I so far, and I hope that anyone that watches this is, you know, if you have any feedback or you're enjoying it, please like and comment on the video. You know, this is just a hobby for me to start doing these Let's Plays, and it's kind of given me some focus on things that I find fun, which is, you know, hopefully that comes through in my gameplay, that There's no weird hidden agenda or anything. I'm just doing this for fun. Okay. Cockatrice. Blizzard. And what I mean by that too is like, you know, you deal with a lot of people that are, you know, try to see people make a lot of money on YouTube and then they're like, well, I'm going to upload stuff and try to get YouTube famous or something and make a bunch of ad revenue. And I've been down that route. I made a lot of Arma 3 tutorial videos years ago and got, you know, upwards of 20k views on each video, which was really good for the late 2000s. Because it was like 2011 or 12 when I uploaded those, almost 15 years. But what happened is I got demonetized really bad on, and back then when you got demonetized on YouTube, if you had a copyright strike, so say someone claimed your video, because they didn't have auto claiming like they do now, you would lose monetization on your whole channel. It wasn't just the one video. They would take away your monetization completely and then still run ads on your videos. I don't like the looks of this guy. Alright, it looks like we're all healed up. Okay. Yeah, he's okay. Oh, it's just an Earth Elemental. Just a little baby. Just born baby. Yeah, that looks good. But what had happened with that is, you know, I had lost so much monetization, I kept going back and forth, kept getting people copyright striking me in like 2012, 2013, that I just kind of gave up on it. And then nowadays, all those older videos, except for maybe one of them, I have just turned to private now. I don't want people seeing my old YouTube content. But what YouTube did after I stopped making videos, any of the subscribers I had from the videos I deleted, they got rid of. I used to have hundreds of subscribers and they took them away. I don't think there was any malicious intent there, but it doesn't change the fact that I used to have hundreds of subscribers and people, and then one day I just didn't. But I'm not here to complain about YouTube. I really like YouTube. I think it's a good service. I think they provide a really good service. I think they're also really understanding with the fact that they know a lot of people use ad blockers. But my understanding is that, because YouTube's kind of secret, right? Like, we all make guesses on the algorithm. We don't actually know how the algorithm works. We just make guesses and like, oh, if I do this, you see this video got really popular because of some algorithm, right? Okay, let's go in here. Oop. A ghast and a wit. Oh yeah, let's kill these guys. We're gonna do a big one on them. I don't know how strong these wits are, but... Oh, they didn't paralyze them, all those hits. I think YouTube's... Yeah, and getting back to that, I think YouTube's a great service. I mean, they're really patient with their viewers because they, you know, realistically, they allow a lot of people to do janky stuff. Like, they allow their... Oh, this is the vampire. All the things in this world are destined to end in death. The seal cannot be broken, and so the earth shall rot. Here he is. You cannot alter the destiny. Oh, really? You think so, huh? Mere mortals cannot kill the undying. Well, I don't think you know, but I have an ability that kills undead. So, alright. We are going to haste Frankie, because that's always the way to win. And then we're going to go Daiga on him. Gaze. I wonder what Gaze... I don't know what Gaze does. Hell, it's doing like nothing. I think that haste might have been a waste. Haste to waste. Oh! Claire was coming through. Kills him in one attack. She is the MVP of this boss fight for sure. I can't even believe that was a boss fight. He's so weak. Well, guess what? Claire gets to be front and center now. She's gonna win a battle like that. What is this? Star Ruby. I'm guessing we gotta give that to the giant. Okay. Let's try to just kill him normal here and save some of my white magic. Yeah, like I was saying, I feel like YouTube is a really good platform. They are really patient with viewers using ad blockers. They're really patient with viewers and how they consume content. And I think that's just because at the end of the day, my assumption is they just want people on the platform. And that they'll put up... Because you think about it this way, right? So people are installing ad blockers on Chrome, right? Chrome is owned by Google. Google owns YouTube. They know these ad blockers are on YouTube. They could circumvent the ad blockers easy. They just don't. The stone slab is set in the floor. An evil force seems to enaborate from within. What? A stone slab is set in the floor. An evil force seems to emanate from within. What? Am I supposed to do something with that? I don't know what that is. It's... Well, if we gotta come back, we gotta come back, but I don't think we need that. I think we just need to leave now. Just gonna start making way out. Yeah, another nice thing about YouTube, too, is they make it really easy for people to just start making content. Like, there's no... You know, if you go back to, like, when I had talked about in previous videos about how difficult it was to find good video content back in the early 2000s, you know, they make it so easy for someone like me who has no video editing background, no recording background, to just put content out there. And I feel like for how difficult it is for me to try to make this content, I feel like it's coming out really good in the end. And a lot of that has to do with the tools they provide. They provide really good tools because they're just trying to build their platform. So if you ever hear me in these videos talk negatively about YouTube, it's in a good place of constructive criticism. It's not in a place of true negativity. Alright, let's get on here. Yeah, we'll just attack them all. I am actually really excited for the Final Fantasy II playthrough. Only because it's one of the few Final Fantasies, I would say the older generation Final Fantasies that I have not beaten. I have not beaten Final Fantasy II, so that'll be a first for... maybe I'll try... Let's try Daira and see if it's strong enough. This is risky. Let's try it. See if it actually kills him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, easy. Easy. I'll go straight down here. Alright, let's just split the damage. Isn't it funny how these guys were bosses before? Now they're just chumps. Little squid head chumps. Get down here. Man, the random battles are quite a bit. We're gonna get away from these dudes. Oops. That's fine. Come on. Don't do this to me. Don't do this. Okay. Poison number 795 of a 6-hour playthrough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rename the playlist for this series to, you know what's great? Poison. Oh my gosh. So I think realistically I fire these guys out because I can't keep. Yeah, I'm just gonna burn them up. Let's see if we can get a cure on Frankie. Get this way. And I have gotten pretty far in Final Fantasy II before. It's just I would always get to a point where I had certain parts of my stats so under-leveled, I didn't really plan, you know, like, oh, how was I going to get my health up, and how was I going to get my magic up, and you kind of got to plan it out a little different just because of the way the game plays. Like, Final Fantasy II is one of those perfect Let's Play games. Because you can experience the game, the story, the gameplay. Because I do like the story in Final Fantasy II. Obviously, I haven't gotten to the end of it. But I did like the story that I experienced at the time. And I felt like that game is a perfect type of Let's Play game just because you don't have to deal with... Hold on a second before I get lost. Okay, so... I'm going to go up, take a left, then go up. Okay. Because you don't have to sit there and plan all that stuff out. You can just veg and watch someone else do it. Which is, like, realistically part of the reason I watched an Elden Ring playthrough. Because I tried playing Dark Souls, I tried playing Dark Souls 2, and it's like, I'm just so bad at those games. I don't have the patience for that. Which is funny saying that, because I can sit here and grind in Final Fantasy 1 for 3-4 hours and it doesn't faze me at all. But having to patiently wait and block and repeat and block, it's just, I don't like it. But Elden Ring was a perfect example of a game I watched as a Let's Play. Because I knew I wasn't, I probably wasn't going to play it. You know? This is the Blizzard. Yeah, and I was talking it over too. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do some of the older Elder Scrolls. You know, maybe Morrowind and Oblivion. Do a Let's Play of those, depending on how the Final Fantasy and the Warcraft ones go. You know, it's just a cool thing, because like as soon as I started realizing how I could be effective at making these videos and how much I enjoyed kind of playing them and talking over my gameplay, I realized I really want to do a few other ones. So hopefully, you know, the people that are watching this enjoy this and will continue watching it, and I'll keep making them. So let's get out of this castle here, or not this castle, let's get out of this cave. See if we can pacify the masses. But that is going to have to be on the next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster with Belmora. Thanks for watching, and thanks for enjoying the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we will continue this adventure next episode.